Good evening and welcome to the Coon Rapids City Council meeting for Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. If you could please rise and join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Griscoviac.
Here.
Councilmember Ray Rauer.
Here.
Councilmember Novak.
Here.
Councilmember Geisler.
Here.
Councilmember Armstrong.
Here.
Councilmember Carlson.
Here.
Mayor Cook.
Here. Thank you. Why don't we adopt this evening's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Geisler and a second by Novak to adopt the agenda. Is there any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the agenda is adopted. We don't have any proclamations this evening, so we're looking to approve the minutes from the June 4th meeting.
Move to approve the minutes. Second.
Motion by Novak and a second by Carlson to approve the minutes of the June 4th, 2024 City Council meeting. Is there any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And those minutes are adopted. We have 5 items on our consent agenda this evening. The first one is to approve a full on-sale liquor, Sunday liquor, and tavern license for Stumpy's Hatchet House, 12760 Riverdale Boulevard. A representative from Stumpy's Hatchet House has informed staff that they would like to upgrade their current liquor licensing from wine and malt, 3.2% liquor and strong beer, licensing to a full on-sale liquor license. I think that's a really good idea. Just throwing it out there. They currently hold Sunday and tavern licensing and will continue to have those as part of the new on-sale liquor license. They have submitted a certificate of insurance evidencing liquor liability, and the approval is contingent upon the approval from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety Alcohol and Gambling Enforcement Division. So we're looking to approve issuance of a full on-sale liquor license, Sunday liquor license, and tavern license to TAHAB 317 LLC, doing business as Stumpy's Hatchet House, located at 12760 Riverdale Boulevard, Northwest, contingent upon approval from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, Alcohol and Gambling Enforcement Division. Next on our consent agenda is to adopt Resolution 24-70, declaring participation with the Council on Local Results and Innovations State Performance Measurement Program. Cities that choose to participate in the program in 2024 are eligible for reimbursement of 14 cents per capita from the state, or approximately $8,900 for Coon Rapids. In order to participate this year, the city must file a report with the Office of the State Auditor by July 1st. This report must include a resolution that commits the city to developing a performance measurement system and providing 2023 data for a minimum of 10 performance measures that have been established by the CLRI. The city has developed the materials necessary to participate in the program, and if the city's participation is approved by council, staff will submit data for the measures and the attached resolution to the Office of the State Auditor. The city will also report the data on the city website in order to comply with an additional program requirement. So we're looking to adopt Resolution 24-70, declaring the city's participation with the Council on Local Results and Innovations Performance Measures Program for 2024. Next item on our consent agenda is item 4 this evening, and that's to approve the waiver of certain fees for the 4th of July celebration. The Coon Rapids Community Strength Foundation, Coon Rapids Firecracker Races, Coon Rapids Fire Relief Association, and the Coon Rapids North Star Lions have requested waiver of the Carnival Fireworks Display 4th of July Parade and 5K Run Walk fees for the annual 4th of July celebration. Historically, these fees have been waived for this community event. And while the clerk's office has the authority to issue the licenses, any fee adjustments must be approved by the council. So we're looking to approve the waiver of the Carnival Fireworks Display, 4th of July Parade, and 5K Run Walk license fees for the 2024 4th of July celebration. The next item on our consent agenda is to accept the 2023 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. The City Council held a work session to review the 2023 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report with the city's external auditors. Once approved, an electronic copy of this report will be made available on the city's website. In addition, a new popular annual financial report, PAFR, introduced last year will accompany the financial statements. This report was created to provide a high-level, simplified, and easy-to-read summary of the city's financial position for residents and other interested parties using data from the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. This will also be available on the city's website. Following council acceptance, the report will be submitted to the Government Finance Officers Association for consideration in the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting Program, and the city has participated in and received recognition from this program since 1975. So we're looking to accept the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report for the year ended December 31st, 2023. The next item on our consent agenda, which is item 6, is our fifth and final item on the consent agenda, and that's to adopt Resolution 24-69, accepting a donation for a park bench. The family of Chris and Jill Casper has donated $700 for a park bench in honor of their memories. The city has administered a park bench donation program for many years, and the family of Chris and Jill Casper, without a T, that's easier to say. The family of Chris and Jill Casper would like to donate $700 for a park bench to honor their memories. So we're looking to adopt Resolution 24-69 to accept a $700 donation from the family of Chris and Jill Casper, and that is our consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Rehauer.
I cannot believe it's already coming time for 4th of July. Time flies. And one more quick thing, want to say thank you to the family of Chris and Jill Casper. Thank you so much. And with that, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Rehauer and a second by Novak. Is there any further discussion on this or comments, questions, anything? All right. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved? Approved. Opposed? And it's approved. All right. All right, we are on to item 7, and that is to consider Resolution 24-14 sub 9, awarding a contract for the 2024 Reclamite Maintenance Project 24-14. Mr. Himmer?
Mayor and Council, this continues our street maintenance projects. This should be the final one for the year. You may recall this was kind of that proprietary Reclamite product that we use in place of our seal coating. Prices came in a little higher, and that was primarily due to the prevailing wage requirements of our ordinance. So we do have adequate budget to cover it because some of our milling overlay came in less. So there is adequate funding in the street reconstruction fund. And I would recommend we award to Corrective Asphalt Materials in the amount of $306,430.95.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Himmer?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Kraskowiak?
Mr. Himmer, is Corrective Asphalt Materials LLC the only company in the area that does this kind of work? And we only had the one response, correct?
That's correct, Councilmember Skoviak. They are the only one that produces this currently.
Okay.
You may recall we've looked at Rejuvenator, Reclamite, and another something, and we've done our own internal testing. What we found was this was the best product for us. There will be more competition coming because it's getting more popular, sure. But for now, this is the only one that can satisfy our needs.
And there's several miles of roads, right? I mean, on the map, do you know how many miles of roads?
I don't have the mileage, but it's 260,000 square yards. I could probably back out the math for you if you'd like.
Do the math there quick.
I don't have that mileage. 258,000 square yards.
Okay, thanks. I was just wondering about the lack of respondents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Geisler?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 24-14 sub 9, awarding a contract to Corrective Asphalt Materials LLC for $306,430.95 for Project 24-14 Reclamite Maintenance Project.
Second.
Mike, motion by Geisler and a second by Rayrower. Is there further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. Item 8, looks like we're sticking with Mr. Himmer. We're considering resolution number 24-18 sub 8, accepting plans and specifications for the East Water Treatment Plant generator improvements and authorizing solicitation of bids.
Council and Mayor, we developed a set of plans for expanding our water production capabilities. So currently we have the west plant in the XL territory. The east plant is in Connexus. There is currently a generator at the east plant, but it can only serve the chemical processing room. So anytime we have a power outage, the only thing that's going to work is venting the chemicals out of that. We can't produce water. We can't pump it into the system. We can't pull from our wells. So this project here expands it to cover the whole building and also a booster pump in one of our high producing wells. So it allows us to generate, produce, supply water in a power outage out of the east plant, which is something we currently can't do. So I am happy to recommend that you send this forward to bids, and we did budget for this as part of our 2024 program.
Very good. Questions of Mr. Himmer?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Griscoviac?
so is our bid taking into consideration the much bigger generator and then everything that's necessary to control the rest of the supply if the power goes out? Or is it just this, is it just a generator package?
There's two generators. One is going to upsize the existing generator such that it runs the entire demand of the treatment plant itself, so beyond just the chemical room, all the lighting, pumps, that sort of thing. And then there's a separate generator that's going to power the booster to pump that into the system, as well as well 8, I believe it is. It's one of our higher producing. So the new generator will produce the well and the pumping into the system, and the original one has just got to be upsized to cover all the needs of the plant.
And the bid that we're putting out includes all of the material and the labor and installation, we're bidding the whole project.
The only thing it doesn't include is some of the engineering and consulting work that we're doing outside of this, but this is turnkey product to install and take care of it.
Great, good update. I know that we talked about how old some of that equipment is at that plant, so thank you.
Your Honor.
Excellent. Councilmember Novak?
Mr. Himmer, just to be clear right now, if there was a problem, like a fire, for example, electricity goes down, the pumps would not actually be pumping water into the system. The only water pressure you'd be getting would be from the towers. Is that correct?
That's correct. It depends on the system. So even if it's happening on the east side of town and it's a Connexus power outage, our west plant is in XL, so that would continue. Now, if we lost power in both service districts, then yes, it would be based upon just the water that's in the system and in the towers.
Okay. Thank you. Excellent thing to have right here.
All right. Any other questions for Mr. Himmer?
Your Honor.
Councilmember Rayrower?
Concur with Councilmember Novak. We like to have backups to the backups when we have necessities such as water for our community. So with that, I will make a motion to adopt resolution number 24-18 sub 8, approving plans and specifications and ordering advertisement for bids for the East WTP Generator Improvements Project.
Second.
Motion by Rayrower and a second by Armstrong. Is there further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. Item 9 is to consider resolution 24-68, accepting a traffic safety grant from the state of Minnesota. And it looks like Captain Jacobson is filling, no, wait a minute now, it's Assistant Chief Jacobson. I got to get this right. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Mayor and Council, I'm sure many of you are aware and have received the complaints yourself. We've had some issues along Northdale Boulevard between Hanson Boulevard and University Avenue with Sand Creek Park there, Soderberg, Northdale Middle School, and Eisenhower Elementary. This grant was brought to our attention. It's actually a two-part grant. The part that's before council tonight is just the enforcement portion. We initially requested $25,000 to enhance our enforcement efforts along this specific stretch of roadway. The big focus would be probably speed and distracted driving, as a lot of the complaints we get in the area. We were notified by the state that if we ended up partnering with Anoka Police Department, they applied for the same grant, we would actually end up getting more money than we asked for. So instead of $25,000, we're getting up to $50,000. And that is strictly for covering officer overtime for enforcement of traffic laws and traffic problems in that stretch of roadway. The second part of the grant is a public safety, or I'm sorry, a public education portion that we've been working with the engineering department and streets, where there'll be some signage implications. However, once we find out what we get for that funding, that one will come before council at a separate time. So this one is just simply the $50,000, or up to $50,000 of enforcement activity in the area. And Anoka Police Department will actually be the administrators of the grant.
Great.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Deputy Chief Jacobson?
Mr. Mayor, if I might.
Yeah, Councilmember.
You touched on it a little bit, but I wasn't aware, but it sounds like we are getting complaints of speed and some unsafe situation on that roadway. Can you expand a little bit about what we're hearing? Is there accidents? Has there been any injuries?
I don't have the accident numbers in front of me on that stretch of roadway. No major crashes in that area. A lot of what we get is the speed complaints due to the park right there. Softball games getting out, some people not safely pulling out of the parking lot. Also crosswalks in the area. We get complaints on some of the crosswalks, pedestrians crossing through, traffic not yielding to pedestrians. So that will all be the focus of what we're looking for, and the enforcement part. It's an enforcement part, but it's also kind of the public education piece, educating the public. It's a pretty straight stretch of roadway, and you have the houses right there as well. So a lot of the complaints we get are from the neighbors and that live right on Northdale there.
And is the grant only to be used for enforcement, or can we do some additional striping, some signage, maybe around those walkways?
That is the second portion of the grant, and we don't know what our award for that will be yet, but that will be in the second portion. We've already worked with, when we applied for the grant, we worked with streets and engineering on what that could look like in the future once we figure out how much we get for that.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Hammond.
Councilmember Griscoviac, I don't have the dollar amount off the top of my head, but I want to say it's about $40,000. We have been awarded, so there's the education component and the engineering side of it. So we'll work with our marketing and communications folks to get into the schools, hype up the enforcement area that's out there. Got painting, maybe some more dynamic display signs, other improvements that will come as part of the second piece, but we got to wait for that. Enforcement is going to come first, but we'll partner, because it doesn't make sense to enforce and then educate after the fact. So we want to do the education, then the enforcement, and then follow up. So.
Unfortunately, this one we had to have before the council before the end of June.
I saw it July 1st, yeah.
Yeah, July 1st, and the second one, I believe it's, we have until next June to approve that one.
Very good.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember Carlson.
I'm sorry, you should say that louder. Mr. Mayor?
I heard you. Barely.
Yeah, that stretch has been terrible for many, many, many years, and yeah, it's been a problem for many years. And there was a resident, Mr. Mayor, who's had 2 crashes and right out in front of his house, and he's caught on Ring camera, one across the street that was horrendous and one that crashed right across his front yard. And had that resident been home a little bit earlier, they might have been right there with their car when that crash happened. Just a terrible situation, and it's a real tough thing, because it's been a speedway for many, many years. But boy, any efforts can have to make to slow that thing down would be great. I really look forward to that enforcement, and also that second phase where maybe we can do some things with the digital speed signs and such like. Anything that can be done to slow that thing down would be fantastic.
Yeah, it's a straight shot, and
It's a
that
straight
new
shot.
the new reconstructed road, she's nice and smooth.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember Griscoviac.
Add to that, I'm glad I asked the question. I'm glad you piped in, because I used to live over off of Olive Street, and coming from Olive Street to get out onto Northdale, sometimes there's just not enough leeway, because the cars are going so fast that you just really have to get out there quickly. So I guess that doesn't make a lot of sense.
And Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Carlson.
to complicate things too, you have the hill come up from Sand Creek Park.
Yeah.
So they come flying over that hill. And it's just, it's not good.
Mr. Mayor,
All right, Councilmember Armstrong.
that stretch of neighborhood there runs right through my ward, and I get calls about it all the time. And you are correct with Church of the Masters over there, and with the way some of those cross streets are set up, you've got telephone poles or signage and whatever else. You try to get your nose out there so you can see what's going on. And somebody comes past at 40, 45 miles an hour, it's a little unnerving sometimes. So I'm really glad we've got this taking place.
Your Honor.
All right. Councilmember Raybrower?
Just want to concur with Councilmember Armstrong there. We're kind of on opposite sides of Northdale. I have one side in my ward, he has the other side in his ward, and when I've knocked and talked to those residents along Northdale, I've heard those concerns from many of those residents in those houses also. So, yes, I'm very glad that this is, that we have this grant coming in, and I'm happy to make a motion to approve Resolution 24-68, authorizing the acceptance of the Safe Road Zone Enforcement Grant from the Minnesota Office of Traffic Safety.
Second?
We have a motion by Raybrower and a second by Novak. Is there any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. And we are up to the open mic public comment portion of the meeting. Is anybody here to address council for open mic this evening? One more for open mic. All right. I don't have any reports on previous open mics, and we are up to other business. Council?
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember Geisler?
Well, let's just talk about all the fun, fabulous things that we've got going on in the city like we always do. Tomorrow is the Wednesday, which means Farmers Market at the Ice Center. And so that's the first Farmers Market of the season. And so, again, from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Ice Center. So stop on by and get some great produce. Our next one is just a notice, also on Wednesday, it is Juneteenth, so that means our city offices are closed. And so if you need something from the city, wait till Thursday. And then our summer concert series, again, is back, so Thursday the 20th is our next concert at the Dam, which is at 7 p.m. And so that is the 20th, which is the Naked Cowboys, which is country. And then the big thing that will be around before we know it is our 4th of July festival.
Ooh, Steve's got a different order. Let's do Summer in the City.
Oh, we'll do Summer in the City. Sorry. So Summer in the City. So that's where we take all of our city staff, and council will be there, and there's tables in the park, and you can talk to anybody in the city. You know, you can bring the kids out. We've got police vehicles there, and the fire trucks are there, and snow plows or trucks, and they can climb on those, and you get water, you get ice cream. Sometimes we've had a person making balloon animals, all kinds of fun things to learn about the city. And on the next one, we are going to be at Prairie Oaks Park, and that would be next week, Tuesday, the 25th. So now, 4th of July. Does somebody else, Pat, do you want to take?
You've got it.
Oh, okay. Well, we can read on our screen. So the 4th of July is going to start, so it's always that 3-day event. So Tuesday, the 2nd, is our first. We've got the carnival, the food truck. Our Lions come and do a lot of great things in their tent. So there's bingo, or the firefighters have the bingo, and pull tabs. So all of this is at Boulevard Plaza, which is right next to the ice arena, where we've been having it for the last several years.
Okay, hang on. We've only done one line of just Tuesday, though.
I know, so okay.
So we got firefighter bingo, and this is our 3rd annual Coon Rapids High School all-class reunion that evening.
Yep.
From 5 to 10. And that just keeps getting bigger every year. More people discover it, and
more people have graduated.
well, none of them come. We put signs up for the later classes, and there's never anybody there, but they're all welcome to come.
And the parade is on Tuesday night, so
6 p.m.
that starts, by the new fire station, and then we'll go down Mississippi Boulevard and then back up, circling around to the ice arena. So come get your space, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot of people in the parade and candy, all good there. So lots of stuff on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, again, all of the fun games and carnival and bingo. And new this year, our police department is hosting a bag tournament, and I believe they're still allowing people to register. So if you want to participate, Wednesday night is the car show, and then again, every night there's music. And on Thursday, all the fun stuff, that's when the Kids Sparkler Dash is. Again, bingo, the food trucks, the Lions tent, and then we've got the Rockin' Hollywoods, 6:30 to 10, and at the end of that is the fireworks, which are, I believe, some of the best fireworks in the whole metro area. So,
Yeah, that day starts at 8 a.m. with the Firecracker 5K,
Yep.
which is a really well-attended run.
yeah, so, and I think you can still register for the race as well. So, lots of things to get engaged with and participate. So, come bring the family, have lots of fun. So, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of July.
Yep. And all the information for that is on the city's website, and it's in that city newsletter you should have gotten in the mail. And yeah. All right, other business to come before council.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Rayrower.
I would like to wish all of our residents a happy Pride. June is Pride Month, the whole month of June. And in a first for Anoka, local business owners and community leaders got together and held the city's first Pride Month event on June 8th in downtown Anoka. And there was an article in the Anoka County Herald last week. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And if you missed it, I would guess they'll do it again next year. So look in advance of June next year. And then the Twin Cities Big Pride Festival is on June 29th and June 30th.
Any other business to come before council? Mr. Stemwittle.
Mayor, Council, I just want to make note that because of all those fun festivities not next week, in 2 weeks for the 4th of July Carnival, our city meeting schedule is shifted back a week. So normally we would meet the 1st and 3rd Tuesday in July. We moved everything back to accommodate the holiday and the carnival itself. So our first regular city council meeting will be July 9th. Our second regular meeting will be July 23rd. And then our work session and Summer in the City events are sort of shifted back to accommodate that as well. So for those who are going to be waiting on July 2nd for that council meeting to turn on their TV, it won't be there till July 9th.
Those folks should be down on the parade route.
Yeah.
All right, any other business to come before council this evening?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Carlson to adjourn, second by Geisler. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.